Hi, I'm Mark Gordon, and normally this time of year I would be traveling around the country showing great people how to provide exceptional customer experiences, but a lot's changed in the last little while, and as such, I think our priorities have changed, and I think we need different kinds of information, different kinds of advice. So with that, I've put together this series of 5 videos that will help you navigate through the changing business environment that is in this world of COVID-19. And I hope these give you some direction and help you kind of see a little more success, or at least a little less failure, a little less on the downturn, being able to kind of manage everything, and that's important. Now, I want you to know these videos, they are not medical advice. I'm not going to show you how to deal with COVID-19 on a personal level. I'm not going to provide you any political advice or anything like that. There's other groups who can do that much better than me. But I think this is important for anyone who manages or owns a business. So let's get started. In this first video, we're going to talk about marketing. Now, not your regular everyday marketing, but how to market in a way that resonates with people in this environment, helps them to understand what's going on and how what you do impacts them, the kinds of products and services you offer, what you do, and whether they can take advantage of it or whether you're even doing business at all. So I want to share with you a story. I have a client of mine who imports products from all over the world, specifically Asia and the Middle East, and brings them here to North America. Well, back in January, he noticed that there was something going on in China. There was this virus that was going around that was impacting a lot of people, and at that time it was being referred to as the coronavirus. Well, he thought that his customers should know about it and how it possibly could impact his business and his ability to provide products to them. So he sent out an email to all his clients letting them know about this mysterious coronavirus that was going through China. Well, as it turned out, everybody started freaking out. His customers were canceling their orders. They were terrified that this mysterious new virus that they had yet to hear of was going to somehow spread to them or infect his products or whatever it was. They were getting nervous, they were getting scared, and didn't want anything to do with them. Well, that was back then. Today, people want to know what's going on. They want to know how it'll impact them, how it'll impact your ability to either make their lives easier or perhaps more difficult. So the lesson here is to really understand how messaging has to be open, it has to be honest, it has to be clear, and most importantly, it has to be timely. When it comes to marketing, customers will have a very specific list of things that are important to them. Now, things being what they are today, that list is a little bit different. People are more concerned about their well-being, their health, the health of their friends and family, their jobs, their economic situation. They may not be so concerned with the products and services that you offer, but they may be concerned with how you can make their lives easier. And more importantly, if you can do it in a way that is easy, convenient, and stress-free for them. Kind of sounds like regular marketing at any other time, doesn't it? But it's important to understand that their priorities may not be your priorities. So you as a business need to change that to make them in sync. It's not about you, it's about them. And the businesses that understand this the most and are able to adapt to the changing needs of their customers, well, those are the businesses that will have the most success, relatively speaking. So when it comes to marketing during these times, I want to share with you some ideas to help you save money, time, and aggravation while still building a strong relationship with your customers. First, what's really important is to understand what people are going through, to put yourself in their shoes and understand how that impacts what you're going to say and how you're going to say it. So for example, when things are going on in the world, sometimes you can get away with making jokes about it or kind of looking at the lighter side. This time around, I wouldn't do that. Having a COVID-19 sale, I wouldn't do that, ever. Also, you got to keep in mind whether the products and services you sell are even going to resonate with people in a way that you're going to want to market them. So for example, with the fact that everybody's being quarantined and international flights are being canceled, Is there really a time to be selling vacation packages? Probably not. But maybe it is time if you're a restaurant or a grocery store or any kind of retailer that sells products that people still need and value. Maybe what you could be advertising is the fact that you're changing your services, that, for example, people can call ahead and be able to pick them up, or perhaps you'll even bring them out to the person in the parking lot so they don't even have to come into your store. See, these are things to be saying instead of just talking about how awesome you are. Let other people say how awesome you are. This cafe normally is booked solid. You can't get a table in here from the time they open around 10 a.m. to the time they close around 11 p.m. But now it's closed. The owners, knowing they could only do takeout, realized it wasn't feasible for them. It wasn't practical for them to run their business as a takeout only place. So they decided to close. Which brings us to our second point, and that being you have to be timely and responsive to the ever-changing business environment that's going on these days. You have to understand that as much as you'd like to stick to a plan and have a strategy, that strategy also has to include the idea that you may not know what the next week, month, or next few months are going to bring. So you have to be responsive. You have to see what's going on and kind of predict how things are going to change, which I know can be really hard, but it's something you need to do in order to survive. You may have to change your products, your services, or even decide if you want to stay open. And number 3 is honesty. It's important to tell people what's really going on. So many businesses like to talk about how busy they are and how great things are going. But the fact is, the way things are right now, it's okay to let customers know you're going through some tough times, that there's challenges out there, that you've had to lay off some staff, and as such, you may not be able to service people at the same level you're used to. You're not able to provide maybe the same products or services or deliver them as quickly. People will understand if you're honest with them, because the last thing people want is to be lied to. And if you're straight up with them, they'll respect that and they'll stick around and they'll cut you a lot of slack. Last week I called one of my suppliers and I got their voicemail and it sounded the same as it always does. So I left them a message. Well, they've yet to get back to me. So I don't know if they're open or if they're closed or just too busy to call me back. Which brings us to our next point, and that is to be accessible to your customers. You see, they're going to be nervous, scared, anxious, who knows what. They may not be in a good place, and they're going to want up-to-date information from you. And it's up to you to be there for them. Whatever channel they want to use, whether it be phone, email, fax, social media, whatever, you need to adopt that. You need to allow them to reach out to you in a way that works for them. And more importantly, you need to empower your staff. You need to keep them up to date. Make sure they're knowledgeable about the situation so they can answer customer questions as they come in. Because people will have patience if you give them answers to their questions. It's when they get silence, that's when things go bad. And they'll remember that even after all this is over with. And finally is the sharing of information. You must share information as often as you can. Keep it accurate, keep it timely. People want to know what's going on with your business and how it will impact them. I was at a big box store the other day, and of course everybody was fighting over the paper products, and all those products were quickly cleaned out. So people started wandering around looking for some information as to when more would be coming in. Were they coming in the next day? Was there more in the back? Well, the problem is there was no signs telling anybody anything. There was no staff available to answer questions. People just started to get frustrated and they left. People want to know what's going on, and it's up to you to provide them information as often as you can. Sometimes letting them know that you have no information is enough by itself. Remember, nobody will ever complain that they were too well informed. I hope the video was of help to you and you learned some stuff that you can apply to your own business. If you have any questions about what you've seen, I welcome you to reach out to me. And when done, feel free to watch the other videos in this series. So until next time, I'm Mark Gordon. Stay healthy, stay safe, and thanks for watching.